Hi everyone, it's Vicky here today. This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to talk about how the fairies came into my life. This is probably going to be a remake of a video I've already done. Can't remember how long ago it was if I've done this video before. But I just thought I'd update because a few videos have cropped up about people have been attuned to the fairies and how they came into their lives. So I want to share my story again. Now, fairies have always been in my life since birth. My mum always told me stories about fairies. Even when I was very young, I had pictures on my walls of fairy weddings, the fairy queen, fairy circles. They were in my room till I actually moved out last year. I found them to be somewhat of a comfort, and I found them that I felt very protected with these pictures up. As the years went on, from being a baby, as I got older, I got told stories about the fairies in the garden. That there was a certain tree in my garden that the fairies were attracted to. So I believed that I'd named that tree the fairy tree. And got quite upset when it did eventually die because I thought all the fairies had died then, or had left the garden. That was the stage where I came into the whole Tinkerbell sort of fairies, you know, little tutus and the sparkly wings, very small little people. But as I got older, I started to realise more about the elemental side of things. So you've got your undines, which is water, your salamanders, which is fire, your gnomes, which is earth, and the sylphs, which is air. And in each one of these groups, they had their own sort of fairies. Like the undines had mermaids, the sylphs had dragons. No, I'm lying. The sylphs had the Viola. And let me think of another one for you that you'll probably be more aware of when it comes to air fairies, which would be because we've got ruins, the Valkyrie and Termes. They're all classed in the air fairy generation. You've got your salamanders, like I say, which I got wrong. It's the wrong word that I mixed up before. The salamanders are linked into the dragon, so that's that one. And obviously the gnomes, you've got all the woodland ones, so gnomes and gnomes, logic says, and that they all work together, and the pixies and all that. So basically that's that. And I work with them very closely now. They're a big passion of mine, and I have made this channel to get across how to work with them correctly, how to attune with them, what they actually are, what they actually do. I find it important for people to understand that they're not your typical Disney fairy. I think some people on YouTube forget this. Yes, we do make fairy houses for the woodland fairies. Yes, I do have a fairy door to let them into the house. There are certain elemental fairies that will be attracted to these things, and will take offerings from these areas. So say like if you build a fairy house, 90% of the time fairy houses are out in a woodland, so you're attracting really woodland fairies like the gnomes and all that to these houses. I've seen some fantastic houses made for the fairies, made from all sorts of branches, fallen branches, leaves, and they look amazing. So that's how they attract them. But you can also do different things. Say if you like live by a river, you can attract the fairies to that area near the river. But you can also do that in the home by setting up separate altars just for these elementals, whichever one you want to work with. At that time, you can set up a certain altar for them to attract them into your home. I have done a few videos on that before, and I will be doing some more, so stay tuned for that. But I find that the fairies are very important to my life. No one's ever said anything to me that it's childish and you shouldn't believe in the fairies, it's wrong, grow up. Because deep down, I think there's a lot of people out there that do believe in the fairies but will not say it. I work with pensioners say people, 90% of the people over the age of 80, and if you mention fairies to them, they all know what you're on about, and they still believe in fairies, and they like the idea of the fairies. So I'm quite proud to be into the fairy side of things and into fairy magic. I'm very happy with it. And I like seeing other people talk about fairies, and I like to comment on videos that other people have done about fairies, and I find it's good to have a community that are bringing out more videos on fairy magic and the fae and bringing it into their spiritual path. I find this very encouraging because I made this channel when there was hardly anyone talking about fairies on YouTube, and this channel's been up for nearly a year now, or it's just over a year since it's been nearly a year and a half since I set up this channel. It might be a bit longer that I can. So back then there wasn't many people talking about fairy magic or putting out the advice like how to cast a fairy circle when you want to do a ritual for the fairies or altars for the fairies. There wasn't that at all, so I'm proud of this channel, and I am happy to see all the people talking about them. So, which is really good. Sorry for going off on a babble. So, getting back onto subject, yeah, the fairies have always been in my life. That is never going to change. When I have kids, I am going to bring the fairies into their lives, whether it be male or female. I will bring them into their lives, and I have these two pictures still, and I've always said as soon as I have children, these pictures will be in their room, be the child be boy or girl at the first stage of their life, that those pictures will be in their room until they say take them away. They will be there, and I will tell them stories on the fairies, and I will go through them all. I will tell them even about the mermaids and everything like that. So I just find it important to get across why I am into the fairies, and that the point is that will never change. I am very proud of the work I do with them and how much I have gained in knowledge. Since starting this channel, I have managed to find some fantastic books, and I've learned how to respect them, which is an important thing. A lot of people need to respect the fairies because they're very tricky. They're not all gonna grant you magic witches. They're not gonna be coming to play. There is a very sinister side to some of them. Like for the water fairies, 90% of the stories that you hear about the water fairies, they are taking someone to their grave, like men. Now, most of the stories you hear about the water fairies are taking men to their death. I'd like the Selkie when they come. The Selkies one, Nyx and Sirens tend to take men to their death, but the odd ones will, if you treat them right, will treat you right, basically. Sorry for all this rambling, but I had to get a lot across. So if I do comment on your videos, it's because I really like them, and I want to share my channel with you. If you're a like-minded person into fairies, all I want to do is share my channel, and then we can talk about the fairies and exchange ideas on how we practice with the fairies. So if you do get a comment from me, that is all I'm trying to do. Okay, so I hope that you've enjoyed this video. Sorry for me completely rambling, I usually do that a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and bless it be everybody, and I will do some more videos soon.